This guy next door who exposed himself, who was drunk, who was all these other things, he did the unthinkable to your blessed child. Now the question for the other members of the panel is, if he just went that second, is that in the heat of passion, as opposed to if he sat there 30 minutes or an hour and thought about it?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, that's certainly the way it reads, and it looks like it's in the heat of passion. But so, Ann, let's just assume, we're just assuming, we have no idea, but let's just assume that the police can prove that he stabbed the guy 12, 13, 14 times, that he killed him, that this guy walked around naked, stood in front of windows, acted inappropriately, was drunk all the time. But you don't prove that molestation. That charge is still just sort of floating out there. It's still going to be hard for prosecutors to get this guy locked away for very long, because the dead guy is certainly not sympathetic at all, is he?
Well, he's not, but here's the thing. This case is wrong on so many levels, and it's with a lawyer, of course. You know, I wonder if he took evidence, you know, that you do need evidence in a case like this. And criminal law, you can't just go kill somebody because you think they did something.
Well, but that's the point, and that's why this story is important, because chances are good. We can say it right now without knowing any of the evidence. Chances are good, the way it's being laid out in the papers, the way it's being laid out in the press, the way it's being laid out by the cops, that regardless of the evidence that goes out there, we may have a jury nullification where the jury says, I don't want to hear about the law. This next-door neighbor guy was a pervert. He was a creep. We're going to let the murderer off.
Yeah, but the thing is, you know, like with Wendy's position, I mean, Wendy, you wouldn't be on the air if you did that. You'd be in prison. And the fact is that especially a lawyer should be upholding the law. And the fact is, a 2-year-old's not competent to testify. Even 7-year-olds sometimes aren't. I mean, the 2-year-olds are barely coherent. They're precariously close to 1. He wasn't coherent at the time. He makes an assumption, and on that assumption, he goes and he breaks in someone's house, and he stabs him 14 times. And he knows what he's doing. He went back. He's at the kitchen, blood all over him with a knife. He can't take the law into his own hands. You learn that in law school. And, in fact, I want to say he's giving lawyers a bad name. I mean, that's a joke. We already have one. But come on. I mean, this
but Wendy, it seems to me that Ann, while she's correct on the law, overlooks the fact that jurors don't go to law school, don't follow the law.
True.
If they did, O.J. Simpson would have been convicted in Judge Ito's court, right?
And so would Andrea Yates be behind bars right now, convicted of first-degree murder. That was absolutely a nullification case, no question about it, that she did not fit the definition of insane under Texas law. Look, nullification verdicts may be wrong, but they do happen all the time. And, you know, I don't think the fact that he's a lawyer changes the fact that he's also a human being and a father of a child. I'm sure he adored his only totally defenseless, adorable little child. You lose your mind
and Wendy,
when monsters do bad things.
Wendy, you've been in front of juries, and you've been in juries. And I see you is shaking your head no, but come on, you know that jurors looking at this case are going to be enraged by the next-door neighbor's behavior.
Yeah, but guess what?
The defense attorneys are going to turn this guy into Hitler.
Hey.
They are. You know they are.
They are, but you know what? Here's the difference. You see cases where someone's convicted or there's evidence that they've done something. This is a 2-year-old. You know, I've had, you know, young kids on the stand that when I say, if I say I'm a boy, is that the truth? And they say yes. If I say it's Rennie in the courtroom, is that the truth? They say yes.
But Ann, I know, Ann,
but
it's not. And in the end, though, Ann, the problem is it's not just the 2-year-old. It's the reports of him walking around naked,
that may not come into evidence.
We'll see. Hey, Clint,